Basic concepts of assessment of learning.
Good day, everyone. Now, let us talk about outcome-based education or OBE. We start with its meaning. What actually is OBE? Outcomes-based education or OBE is also known as standards-based education. This is a theory that is centered on outcomes or goals, which means that we are shifting our focus. We are no longer focused on trying to finish everything that we need to finish for the entire school year. Instead, our focus is that our students should reach the goals or the outcomes that we have set for them. There are two types of educational outcomes: the immediate outcomes and the different outcomes. When we say immediate outcomes, these are competencies or skills acquired upon completion of the subject, a grade level, a segment of the program, or the program itself.
Examples of immediate outcomes: ability to communicate in writing and speaking, mathematical problem skill, ability to produce artistic or literary works, ability to do research work, passing or require license examination.
So next, let's talk about different outcomes. When we say different outcomes, it is referred to the ability applied to cognitive, psychomotor, and affective skills or competencies in various situations many years after completion of a subject, a grade level, or degree program.
Examples of deferred outcomes: success in the professional practice or occupation, promotion in a job, success in career planning, health and wellness. The skills that we could get in any program, whether it is immediate outcomes or deferred outcomes, help us as an individual to improve ourselves to our best version.
With a change of focus in instruction from content to learning outcomes, came the need to redefine and clarify the terms used to determine the progress of students towards attainment of desired learning outcomes. These are measurement, assessment, and evaluation. Measurement is the process of determining or describing the attributes or characteristics of physical object, generally in terms of quantity. When we measure, we are actually collecting quantitative information relative to some established standards.
To measure is to apply a standard measuring device to an object, group of objects, events or situations according to procedures determined by one who is skilled in use of such device.
There are two types of measurement, namely the objective measurements and the subjective measurements. Objective measurements refers to tests such as true or false, multiple choice, fill in the blanks or completion, and enumeration, which produce objective results. Objective measurements are more stable than subjective measurements, in the sense that repeated measurements of the same quantity or quality of interest will produce more or less the same outcomes. Objective measurements are measurements that do not depend on the person or individual taking the measurements. Next is the subjective measurements. When we say subjective measurement, it often differs from one assessor to be the next, even if the same quantity is being measured. In subjective measurements, students' knowledge on subject matter is measured through perception. The teacher or group of experts evaluate a student knowledge of the subject matter, or they applies the knowledge in performing a task. Now, let's talk what is assessment. Assessment is the process of gathering evidences of students' performance over a period of time to determine learning and mastery of skills. It requires review of such evidences of learning in the forms of dialogue records, written works, journal entries, presentations, portfolios, test results, and other learning tasks. The overall goal of assessment is to improve student learning and provide students, parents, and teachers with reliable information regarding to students' progress and extent of attainment of the expected learning outcomes. Assessment results show more permanent learning and clearer picture of the student's ability. In this moment, let us know what evaluation is. Evaluation is a process of attaching quality or value on the results of measurements. The quality or value is judged against the present standards. Evaluation is also designed to provide information that will help us to make judgment about a particular situation. Evaluation can help educators determine the success of their academic programs and signal efforts to improve students' achievement. Evaluation are often divided into two broad categories: the formative evaluation and summative evaluation. In the classroom teaching, formative evaluation is conducted during the learning process to find out if the students get the lessons or not. The results will be the basis of the teacher whether to proceed to the next lesson or reteach the lesson in another way. These types of evaluation focuses on the process. The main objective is to determine deficiencies so that the appropriate interventions can be done. The next category of evaluation is the summative evaluation. In the classroom setting, summative evaluation is conducted at the end of the quarter or unit to find out how far student has learned in the unit or quarter. The focus in this evaluation is on the result. The instrument used to collect data for summative evaluation are questionnaires, survey forms, interviews or observation guide, and tests. It is designed to determine the effectiveness of a program or activity based on its avowed purposes.
Hope that you understand the lesson for today. See you next meeting.